Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Hi, everybody. Dion's Daily Dose, Monday, October 19th. So we'll wait for a couple people to join in here. I was actually watching, there is a first district congressional candidate forum. I muted it. I was watching it right up until I went live here. I'm going to rewatch it. There. Oh my goodness. So, hey Jack, good to see you. So I just saw it right before, like probably 20 minutes ago, right before I went live to set everything up. And here's what's going on with it. I'm going to tell you. So there's a camera feed, and the only person in the studio is Frank Mervan. So the camera is constantly on Frank Mervan. For whatever reason, I don't know the background, I don't know what's going on, but for whatever reason, Leva and Strauss are on the phone in their car. You can hear windshield wipers going in the background. I don't know why it's that. I don't know if both of them are running late. I don't know if they're not like there. I don't know. But the audio from at least from Leva, you can't hear him at all. You got to really crank the volume up. And oh my goodness, Antonio, hey man, how's it going? I don't know if I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's a first district debate. It's not a debate; it's a forum. And oh my goodness, I'm just going to say this. Look, there's a lot of controversy, and it's manufactured controversy, right? There's controversy right now because Leva put a post up that in reality, he really shouldn't. He shouldn't have posted it, but he did. And it's a meme about white supremacy and signs of white supremacy of a full-time job and no criminal record and all this stuff. And NWI Times picked it up. So now, of course, it's an even bigger deal than it was. A lot of people are not happy about it, and it got brought up during the debate. Look, you absolutely have free speech. You can whatever you want to say. There have been some things that I have said on my social media that are controversial or funny to me that other people don't find funny. But when you are a candidate for office, when you are running, especially for something like the United States Congress, you really need to consider before you hit that share, before you hit that post button. You really need to think about it. I'll share the link for this video. Right now, you can't even hear what's going on. Hopefully, they'll be able to clear it up. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. I don't know. That's Connie. Yeah. So I don't know if you're watching this, Connie, but you can't hear Mark. I don't know if you know what's going on. Maybe you can let me know. When they cut, so they have Mervan, right? He's in the studio. He's all, nice looking and all of this. Why isn't Leva there? Why isn't Strauss? Whatever. But why isn't Leva in the studio on camera? Is he running late? What is this? How they set it up? Because that's not cool. If that's how they set it up, it's very not cool. But moving on, this is something that it's just another thing that isn't going well, in my opinion. Um, I don't know. I tried to listen to it. I wasn't able to make out what Leyva says when it's his turn. The majority of his answer. Here's the thing, right? There were some good opportunities for him to really get out there and say something, and he didn't. He didn't utilize it, or if he did, you couldn't hear it. Very, very frustrating from someone who wants to vote Republican, from someone who, okay, hold on, we got a question. Let's see what he has. Okay, I know this is a strange question, but as a Republican, if you had to, who would you prefer, Biden or Hillary? Okay, let's break that down. So, man, that's a really hard question. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to say this. It isn't about them being Democrats as to why I can't support either of them. It's about the depth of corruption that's there. Hillary, everybody knows she sold the office pay for play, right? When she was Secretary of State, lots of money flowed into the foundation. She sold the office. And all this evidence coming out for Biden is the same thing. It's the same thing. Via his son, right? If this stuff is accurate that's coming out, we learn that he's sold the office, at least the access of the office of vice president. And we saw the video. If you haven't seen it, it's out there, of Biden himself admitting that he wanted the prosecutor fired. Prosecutor was fired. I really don't know. That's a really good question. Who, if I had to pick one of those two, if I absolutely had to pick one of those two, who would it be? I really don't know. I'm not sure that I could give. I really don't know. Man, I'd have to get back to you on that one. I'd have to do a little more research as to here's the, I guess, the biggest issue in their heyday, like at their prime, as it were. Probably Biden at his heyday, because Biden's not the brightest, but he's predictable. Not now, but at his heyday. Hillary was just scum. Just across the board, she comes off as so condescending. At least Joe Biden, the people that have met him and talked to him, he's a nice guy. He comes off as a nice guy. So I would say probably, if I absolutely had to pick between those two, probably Biden. Yeah, and that's what people say, right? Steezy says, I'm a Democrat, but even I think Hillary was a mess. They think Biden is better and a more caring and better person. And I'm going to tell you, that's what I'm hearing. If you have to pick between those two, I would say probably Biden. I mean, to me, I can't bring myself to vote for either of them, but I think Biden is a little more palatable for Democrats than Hillary was, especially the undecided voters. But this first district thing, this first district thing's a mess. And yeah, here's the thing, right? So Stevie says Hillary was just so artificial and fake, and Biden sort of cares. Here's the thing: Biden at least comes off like he cares. Hillary just blatantly was full on pandering and all of that. At least Biden, you have the illusion of caring. So I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I have not been able to find any good information about school board candidates. Now, a lot of people don't really think about school board as mattering that much. As Trump has shown with the 1619 project, it's a big deal. If you look up the NEA right now, they are very politicized. Regardless of how you feel about the agenda that they're pushing, It's a problem. It's a definite problem when our schools look. We know we've known for quite a while that universities have been politicized. We have professors that are very left, and they're teaching their students very leftist ideology. It is what it is, right? Universities are responsible for their own content. They have their own board. They have their own group that decides what is allowed and what is not. Personally, I don't think that taxpayer money, should be utilized for brainwashing and indoctrinating our youth. But when you look at local school board candidates, because this is what actually determines what makes it into your schools. It's what determines what makes it in the schools that my kids attend. You know what we need? And this is just for any of you out there who maybe are looking for a project, make a site or an app or something that will look up school board candidates and rank them for various things, because they don't get the kind of press coverage, for example, that congressional candidates get. Let's face it, NWI Times has time to write a full-on article about about Leva putting a meme out, but they don't have time to give us any information about school board candidates. So the school board races are supposed to be non-political, and I'm not talking about which way they lean. I'm talking about what they believe. Do they believe that the NEA is the guiding force? Do they believe that parents should be more in charge of what comes as far as curriculum goes? Things like that. And it's not really a left or right thing. It's just what do you want your children to be learning? And more importantly, how do you want them to be learning it? There is indoctrination on both sides, right? And Steezy makes a good point. Yes, and I've said this before. There are bad people on the left, bad people on the right, good people on the left, and good people on the right. I do believe, especially prior to the last several years, the Democrat Party has really gone progressive, full left, whatever you want to call it, radical in many areas. They are not denouncing certain groups that are causing destruction, Antifa, things like that. They're not denouncing riots. There are who have distanced themselves from that and said, look, this party doesn't represent me anymore. Many of them, as a matter of fact, politicians who didn't need to do that, but have chosen to do so. And there are examples of that on the far right as well. But as a party, I think I've seen the Democrat Party embrace a lot more radical type of behavior and language. It started with the 2016 election. We had sitting Congress women, Maxine Waters, calling for basically attacks on anyone who disagrees with her politically. That was just the beginning, and it's gone downhill from there. People like to say that Trump's divisive. He is splitting this country. He's doing this. He's doing that. My counter to that is, without the media and the pure hate and vitriol of the left, would we have such a division in this society? And yeah, that's a good point too. Stevie said, "I just wish the Democrats had a good candidate." There are some very good Democrats that some Republicans like. One of my favorite is Andrew Yang. I'll say this: I really like Tulsi Gabbard. I think that if the Democrats were smart, they would have gotten behind Tulsi Gabbard and perhaps Andrew Yang. But I think Trump would have been in real trouble this year. I do not see that kind of enthusiasm or intellect behind the Biden campaign. But I just want to say this. Make sure that you learn as much as you can about the people on your ballot. we tend to focus on learning more about the president's plans for this and the president's plans for that. Look into your state representative candidates. I cannot urge you enough, because I'm telling you, your state rep, your mayor, your city council, these are the ones that are going to be the most influential in your everyday life, because your state rep, they're going to go to the state house, they're going to represent your interests, they're going to vote for and against various policies that directly affect you. They set the budget for the state, they determine how much money goes to your schools, they determine how much money goes to your local communities, Medicaid. All these things are determined on the state level. These are incredibly, incredibly important positions. State representative, then down to your county and city levels, and then finally, yes, your school board. Learn about these people. Look at what they've posted. That alone will give you a good idea of where their head is at. But do your research. I know it's hard, especially for local candidates, man. There's so little to be found out there. As I'm not seeing any real, like, yeah, some of them go to Ballotpedia or whatever, but in general, I think there needs to be a specific school board related voting resource, right? Whether it's a questionnaire specifically designed for school board member candidates, something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna throw that out there into the internet, and someone can use it if they want. I think it'd be a good idea. We need something, because it's so hard to get information. I've looked, I've tried. I'm trying to figure out on my local level here who is for, who's for flat out NEA type control where they decide what the kids learn, and who is for keeping it local and them determining who what the students learn. It's hard to come across. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to let you know, if you weren't already aware, very, very soon, Thursday is the big event. This is going to be the one that we're kind of putting everything into, a big get out the vote, meet the candidate, debate watch party event. It starts at 7. It's at the DAV on Ohio Street in Michigan City. Come on out. Starts at 7. You can get out there, meet the candidates. If you don't feel comfortable coming in person, tune in, and we will make sure that your voice is heard. You'll get a chance to ask the candidates whatever you like. We're going to have several there. I don't know who all's going to be there just yet. I'm getting the final names for, yes, I'll definitely be there versus I'm really going to try to make it. But I will tell you, I will not be the only one there. You'll have a chance to talk to some other candidates, rub elbows with them, ask them the questions that you really want to know if you haven't made your mind up. Hey, how do you feel about this? What do you think about that? So I hope you'll join us. If you don't feel comfortable coming out, tune in online. You can. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. It'll be on Twitter as well, at Dion for Indiana. Or for those of you who, for whatever reason, don't want to go through the political page, you can go to at Dion's Daily Dose, and you'll be able to watch live. And then we're going to enjoy the last debate, the last presidential debate. The second one didn't happen. Hopefully this last one will, and we can watch what will likely be the next president of the United States, one way or another, give their views and have a discussion with the other candidate. And look, all other things aside, regardless of how you feel about Trump, personally, I'm tired of them picking biased debate and town hall moderators. I watched the first debate, and Chris Wallace was just not good. It was disgusting. So incredibly biased. The same thing with the town hall with Guthrie. I forget her first name. Same thing, right? She interrupted him constantly, asked all these questions. There were very, very few questions from audience members. And when you watch the same thing being done with Biden, it's blatant. It's blatant hypocrisy. So, again, I'm gonna get that link for you for the. Let me see if I can find it. I'll drop it in here real quick. It's still going. I'm gonna let's see, copy link. I'm going to. There we go. It's on Facebook. You can look it up. This is the first district forum thing. It is WLTH AM 1370 on Facebook, and it's called First Congressional Candidate Forum 10/19/20. I'm actually going to see if I can wait till it's over, go back to the beginning. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to hear. Again, I don't like the format. I don't like the fact that Mervan's the only one you're looking at the whole time. Not cool. Even if they had I think they should have at least had a picture of the other persons. Steezy asks, who's the moderator? So the one that was going to be was going to be the second debate was a former staffer for Biden. And I believe the one for the third debate is a former Obama staffer. Let's see. Let's find out who is the moderator for the final presidential debate. Let's find out. Kristen Welker. That is Kristen Welker, according to Google. And let's see here. And let's see what he says about, or let's see what's said about. Okay, so here we go. If it works. So who is this person? Here, I'm going to actually bring this up on my other screen so we can find out who this person is. Paste, boom. I don't know. I've never heard of this site, Marie Claire, but let's see here. All right, so I don't know if this is good or not. Let's there. I just picked one of the ones that I found. The first thing was what Donald Trump says about them. That's not really what I'm interested in. I want to see. All right, so her resume is pretty stacked. She's been a broadcast journalist since she had a Harvard University with a history degree. Okay, she was a reporter and anchor at ABC affiliate stations in Redding, California, and Providence, Rhode Island. Spent about 5 years at the NBC affiliate. Here it is. In her current role, Welker traveled extensively with members of the Obama administration and was a primary member of the women-led team at the forefront of NBC News' 2016 election coverage. She has also appeared on many NBC and MSNBC news programs, including NBC Nightly News, Meet the Press, co-anchor of Weekend Today. So here's the question, right? Is this person, yes, she's won awards. She co-chaired the Democratic debate in 2019 with Rachel Maddow, Andrea Mitchell, and Ashley Parker during that debate. She asked about universal health care, affordable housing, and white supremacy. Here's the topics that she has chosen. Fighting COVID-19. Let me ask you this, ladies and gentlemen, and let's be real for a moment. Who the hell is tired of hearing questions about COVID-19 to candidates? Like, in all reality, we know what needs to happen. People need to be tested. They need to wash your damn hands. They need to stay clean. That's it. There is treatment available for the condition. We need to open our economy back up, get back to work. We need to protect those who are vulnerable against it, and we need to get our economy going. We know that Joe Biden wants to shut the economy down. We know Donald Trump wants to open the economy up. That's it. Anyway, American families, put this back. American families, okay. Race in America, climate change, national security, and leadership. She's married to John Hughes. Welker's John Hughes is a Merck marketing executive, not the creative genius behind masterpieces like blah, blah, blah. Merck, isn't that the pharmaceutical company, Merck? Just saying. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and here's the thing, right? And Jack points out 0.5% have issues if they catch. No one is saying COVID's not real. No one is saying it is not a real disease. What people on the right are trying to say and doing it badly is there are risks in a free society. Look at North Korea, right? North Korea, oh, they had one issue with COVID. They shot him in the head. Issue's over. Is that what you want? Is that the kind of society that you want to live under, where the government takes care of you only as much as they can, only as much as they will? This is a symptom of overreaching societies, right? Security. If you talk about too much security, you're talking about a police state. You're talking about a state, a country where the government will give you your voucher for your food. You go, you pick up the food, you go home, and there you go. That's your life. If you're not working in the mine or wherever else they want you to work that particular day, they will decide what you have to eat. They will decide where you work, what you're skilled at, and where they can utilize you. Those are authoritarian societies, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing that is happening in the United States is like that. So those making the connection that doesn't exist between Trump and authoritarians are, unfortunately, it's just not what people need to hear. There are so many things, in my opinion, and I'm just a guy, but there are so many things that real leaders, especially from the Republican Party, should be saying right now. Yes, COVID is real. Yes, people have died. There is risk. But in a free society, there is always risk. If you look, the Second Amendment is a thing. There is a chance, however minuscule, that when you're walking down the street, someone walking with you is going to be armed. There is a much tinier, infinitesimally small chance that the person with the weapon is suddenly going to decide to shoot you. It is a risk. You have a much higher risk of getting into a car accident because we have free and unrestricted travel. You can get into your car and you can drive to McDonald's. Now, is anyone proposing, well, maybe you shouldn't be able to leave the house at all? Maybe you shouldn't be able to drive where you want. Maybe the government should tell you when you can go to McDonald's. That would cut down on the car accident. Now, A through B to go at 5:30 to get McDonald's, and then C through D at 5:40. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you want from your government. There are no assurances in this life. I understand. I get it, man. You'd love to be care of, to be given health care that was just second to none. Unfortunately, all of these things cost money, and people have to pay for them, the people that are going to work. It's just like New York. New York is raising taxes and creating more and more and more issues with businesses, and people are fleeing New York. The people with the money that will be paying for all of these programs are leaving. Why do you think that is? Because there's somewhere else for them to go. Ladies and gentlemen, America is the last beacon in this world. There's some stuff that Trump says and does that it's like, oh my God, really, dude? But the things that he's done, not worried about what he says on Twitter, not worried about what he says in front of the news cameras. I'm worried about the things that he's done. The things that he has done for this country, that's what I'm voting for. I am voting for my Second Amendment. I am voting for across the board equality. Those are things. Let's see. Let's get caught up on comments here. Jack says, LaPorte County normal attrition is 40 per month. Mostly nursing homes for the past 30 plus years. That's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. Look it up. This is very odd, right? We have all these people that the news continues to tell us are dying from COVID, right? Again, I'm not disputing that. They're saying they're dying. Okay. Why are the number of people that are passing away this year it's on par, if not slightly under previous years for like the past 4 or 5 years. It's the same. If anything, slightly less with projections. Now, if people are dropping like flies from COVID, wouldn't that number be higher? Wouldn't our total number of casualties, of deaths for 2020 be higher than previous years by a significant margin, right? You would think 200,000 plus. We should have 200,000 plus more people that have passed away in 2020 than any other, right? Than previous years. It should be plus 200,000 this year. And it's not. If anything, it's less. Now, all of a sudden, flu deaths are gone, other stuff. Well, just look it up, do your research. But the important thing is we understand. Republicans understand that there's risk. We understand, and we do not want grandma to die. That's not what it's about. What it is about is how many people's lives have been utterly destroyed because of the shutdowns, because their business was forced to close their doors. These are things that we need to know. These are things that people need to wake up to. That's what it's all about. What is the cost versus the reward, right? Yes, it's a horrible disease. Yes, there have been horrible diseases for thousands of years. Nothing we do is going to eliminate it. I just want to know, when do we reach the point that we know we've conquered this? Is it when there are no more positive cases? Because that's not possible. We know it's a virus, it spreads, it's out there, boom, it's going to continue to get out there, right? Is it until we have a vaccine? Because it was supposed to be 15 days to slow the spread. The entire purpose of this shutdown, this lockdown, was hospitals and our emergency personnel, first responders, doctors, nurses, ERs, ICU beds, to have space and breathe so that they could catch up, right? That was the purpose, so that the system wouldn't get overwhelmed. It was never to stop COVID. We can't stop it. That's not going to happen. And now we have people, don't trust the vaccine. The vaccine's coming, but don't trust it. So what's the end game here? Steezy says, I just feel like Trump is twisting his words. Like yesterday, I think he said Biden believes in science. Like, yeah, of course he does. But Trump is making it very hard for voters to lean to him. And I think there are some cases of that, sure. I will say this. The man is not a polished speaker. He does not come across as someone who has done a lot of public speaking and polished his words. He just says what's on his mind. And I have to say that's one of the things that I appreciated about him in 2016. And it's one of the things that make me want to vote for him again, because personally, and I think this goes from top to bottom, people are tired of being lied to by politicians. People are tired of being told by politicians, I'm going to do this for you. And then when they get in the office, they forget all about it. They do the exact opposite or pretend like they never said the stuff that they said. I'm so sick of that. That's why I'm running, because I'm sick and tired of saying, hey, I'm going to do this. And then when it's time for them to put up or shut up, like when they're on the floor of the House, actually time for them to present a bill or whatever. It's, I couldn't get it passed. I couldn't do it. They're not doing their job. Stacey says it's just Republicans are making themselves look very confused. They are not talking to the people about COVID, and all the non-decided voters think the Republican governors, senators, etc. have no clue. Unfortunately, you are right. And I really wish that some more Republican candidates had the brass ones to actually say, look, it's not going to go away. We know that there is risk. We know that nobody wants grandma to die. No one wants to put them at risk. But this is what has to happen. There are diseases that come through all the time, and there are people that should absolutely take precautions. If you are medically frail, if you have breathing issues, if you have comorbidities, then you should absolutely take the maximum level of precautions, right? Stay home, have things delivered, all those things. But we cannot continue to lock down our economy while waiting for some magically never defined goal. That's what it comes down to for me. What is the goal? For cases to stop going up? It's out there now. It's spreading. It isn't the bubonic plague, despite what the media would tell you. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Do your research. That's really what it comes down to. I had a little different track that I was going to do tonight, but I got thrown off because I started watching that debate forum thing, and it just infuriated me that I could not hear what was going on. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget the 22nd, 7 p.m., the DAV in Michigan City on Ohio Street. We're going to have several candidates out there, and then we're going to watch the debates together. I have a feeling that it is going to be a magical evening one way or another. So thank you very much for joining me. God bless you. God bless Indiana. Got to give a shout out. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2020. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.